Hi, group. So, the readings over the past 3 weeks have been pretty interesting, actually. It's hard to read chapters and chapters on the end of a textbook, but in doing the outline assignment, it helped me to just really focus and look for things that meant something to me, that connected to things I'm interested in, things I've experienced, or like it says, to connect it to other classes we've taken, and the importance in looking at the big portfolio assignment that we are doing for this course. So one of the main things I wanted to go over, I guess, is from chapter 1. It talks about the university cooperative extension program that there is. It sounds like it's a nationwide thing, one of those things that was started to try and kickstart family education in communities where it's needed for people that need those resources. And the interesting thing about that, it really stood out to me because in the past year, in the community I'm in, that organization, the Cooperative Extension, has been doing story time at the public library. And I attended a bunch last summer with my daughter. She was just under 18 months when we were going. And that one that we're going to was called the Infant Toddler Story Time. And then there was also a preschool one that I heard was really good and interactive. But during that, I wasn't really, I guess I didn't really know what the cooperative extension was, but now reading about it is interesting because the teacher that was for it, I bet she had a master's degree. But whenever we did activities, story time, she would do different things of, okay, they do storybooks that had, the touchy-feely things, or she would ask specific questions, and then she would tell us, today we're really wanting to show you that it's good to interact with your child in this way, ask them, see if they're retaining the information, and then sometimes we would do puzzles or something like that. And she would just give little tips of, at this age and stage, this is something that you want to be able to do with your child because it's going to help them. It's the right stage, and it's really basic stuff, things that I would naturally be doing anyways. But I could totally see how it was important for at-risk families with child development type things. So that was pretty cool. But in connection with that, going to chapter 19, that was focusing on marketing of like family life education and just these things that we know that are so important. So in looking back on the cooperative extension that I was going to, now I'm not able to go to it anymore right now because the lady that was doing the infant toddler story time moved, and so I know they're still doing the preschool story time, but my daughter's not old enough for it, and so I don't want to take away from the preschool type kids experience with a younger child that's not really at the same developmental stage. But it seemed like the program would have been great for, like I said, those that are at risk and everything. And it seemed like the few people that actually kept going to the infant toddler story time weren't really those. We all benefit from it. It's good to just get out and to have your children involved in something. But those that are really at risk and needing that, I don't feel like that they even knew about it, because the only way that I knew about it was through this Facebook page that my friend created just for moms in the community, just so that she could list all events that she knows that were happening, which, she is just a go-getter. It was awesome that she does that. But that's the only way I knew about this. And maybe they put flyers out, or, they have a Facebook page now. They had created it while I was going to the story time. But I just don't know that they were getting the word out in a very effective way. And so that I was able to note that marketing is so important, because that story time could have been even greater. There was literally, I went pretty consistently for probably 2 months, and there was myself and another mother with her daughter that were consistently there. And other than that, there was one or two other that were there spotty, and they were actually preschool age kids that were going to the preschool one, but also wanted to go another day a week just because it's nice to get out. And so the effectiveness wasn't as great as it could have been. So with the marketing, I guess pretty much is just first off, you need to know how to get it out. So, I mean, they could have bigger flyers at Walmart or like, there's just even the things like in my community, there is a lot of at-risk family situations, I would say. And so you have to think outside the box. I would say for this, I would highly recommend them talking to like a manager at Walmart and asking if they could have the checkout clerks be handing out these flyers. Ask, if there was a mom with kids or whatever, to just ask, hey, you want to take this flyer? This is something that's happening in the community. And I think that would be a great way to get it out there because, putting up flyers like on the bulletin board at Fry's, which ours is like totally hidden, isn't very beneficial because I've seen that board and it's a mess, first off. Second off, you have to like physically go over there and try and search for something that you want. So it needs to be something that's going to like be in your face. So like I said, having someone actually hand it to you, it's going to have to be those types of things. So with family life education and just getting people to understand the need for things. So that was in chapter 16, talking about we have to be able to relay that there's actually need, that somebody needs, say, the program that we're marketing. Why is it important? Why do they care? And this is something that, all of us in this course are probably passionate about family, marriage in some way. And I've just been really discouraged lately thinking, my goodness, the world doesn't even care about marriage in any way. They don't, you know what I mean? They just don't take those things as worth their time anymore. And so I've been trying to figure out like how can you even relay like that it's important to have a strong marriage or take care of your kids in this way, all these different things. Like how are we going to market these things and get them to like even care or understand like why is marriage even important? Like does it even matter? And it does. But so pretty much we have to rely on hope in a lot of situations, but be able to give them facts. And that's why we have to do our research, which is hard. Like for me, I just want to say, because it's important. It makes sense. Like this family's happy, this family's not. What's missing? What's the differences? You know what I mean? But you have to be able to look up the facts and the numbers and be able to show them why. So with the marketing strategy, I had down an example about in a different community that I lived in, there was a farmer's market and I really wanted to sell something there. So I was like, oh, well, I made these gluten-free cookies. So I was like, we'll just sit on the grass and just try and sell these cookies. So I had a big sign, gluten-free sugar cookies, and it looks really good. So a few people bought them just because it was a good cookie. And then one lady came by and she was so excited. She pulls her daughter over and she's like, look, these you can have, they're gluten-free. So, and that made me feel good because I'm like, I know what it's like to be someone who can't have something most of the time that you'd want. And so then she's outside, but then she says to me, oh, what food dye did you use? Or what number food coloring did you use for the pink frosting? And I was like, oh, I just used a can of frosting and I don't know. Like it wasn't organic or anything. I don't know. So then she had to tell her daughter, actually can't because of she's going to have some red food dye. And so that was something that if I were to be really marketing this product, I probably should have like, you're going gluten-free. There's other people with other allergies, like trying to take into account a whole bunch of different food allergies so that it would, I don't know, just kind of be suitable for a lot of different people in those types of situations where it'd be special for them to find a treat at a farmer's market in that little town. So that's just some things that I got from the readings and that I liked talking about and thinking about. So let's see, anything else? that's about it. Thanks.